Hello YouTube, Sierra here, and I'm going to do the gamer tag in celebration of N7 Day. So, for those of you who don't know, N7 Day is a celebration of the Mass Effect games, which is why I am wearing my Tally hoodie and my Mass Effect pins. On to the questions. The first question is, what is your all-time favorite video game? That's actually a really hard question because I've played a lot of video games, but it's kind of a tie between Turok, which is a game I had for the PlayStation 2, where you played as an Indian who was sent to this other dimension, and you were hunting a cowboy, and it sounds really weird, but there were dinosaurs and dinosaur people, and it was really sci-fi and weird, and first-person shooter, had a lot of really cool guns and stuff in it. But it's tied between that and World of Warcraft, and World of Warcraft is one of my favorites just because I've made so many memories with so many awesome people. Hoping to get back into that soon. We'll see how that goes. Question number 2. What is your current favorite video game? Currently, it's gotta be the Dragon Age trilogy. The characters are amazing. I really love the storyline. I think BioWare just does a great job telling stories and making you fall in love with characters. And you can make so many different decisions in the game that affect how the other games play out. It's just a really great RPG experience, and it's definitely really brought me into RPGs a lot more than I already was. Question number 3. What is your favorite video game genre? RPGs. I love role-playing games. I love games where you get to make your own character and you're not stuck with the same protagonist every time. I love games where you get to make your own decisions. Those include Fallout and Skyrim, the other Elder Scrolls games, Dragon Age, Mass Effect, and then, to an extent, World of Warcraft is a role-playing game, which I love, but that's definitely my favorite genre. Let's see. Question number 4. How long have you been playing video games? I have been playing video games ever since I can remember. We always had a system in my house ever since I was little, and we even had multiple systems in my house, and I always had a PC to play video games on, so it's always been a part of my life, and I feel like that's why it was never a big deal to me that I was a female that played video games. I never really thought of it as a boys' club like they make it now. But, yeah, I've always played video games. It's just something I've talked about a lot more on the internet recently because it's a lot safer now to be a girl and talking about video games and not being told, get back in the kitchen, or you're not allowed to play, you're just making it up for attention, all that crap that I don't like to deal with. Next question. What is the first game you ever played? The first ones I can remember playing, I don't know which one came first, I was very young, was Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy Kong's Quest for the Super Nintendo, and Killer Instincts 2 for the Super Nintendo, and I had a Jurassic Park game for the Super Nintendo that I remember very clearly, and I also had some games for the Sega Genesis, Echo the Dolphin, and that's pretty much the only one I really played a lot on Sega Genesis. And then I also had a lot of PC games when I was younger. They bought me the Putt-Putt games and Freddy Fish, whatever, the kids games for the PC that were made for learning and stuff like that. So played a lot of those when I was little. Next question. What game have you clocked the most hours into? Alright, this has to be a tie between World of Warcraft and Skyrim because I have played so much Skyrim, it's ridiculous. I went through 2 or 3 discs that I broke and had to replace before I finally got it on the PC. And I know I've played a ton of World of Warcraft, because there were times when I would get home from school, get on, and not go to bed until 1 or 2 in the morning just playing World of Warcraft. And on weekends, I would get up, get on World of Warcraft, play all damn day, all damn night. But, it's probably Skyrim. I bought that. I got it at the midnight release, and that's one of the games that, for me, has a really high replay value, whereas there were 2 years when I wasn't really playing World of Warcraft. Next question. Let's see. What's your longest video game session? It's gotta be longer than 12 hours. I never really timed myself playing games, but it has to be longer than 12 hours because my sleep schedule's fucked. But it was probably World of Warcraft. Let's see. Who's your favorite game developer? BioWare, all the way. BioWare. Followed by Bethesda. but BioWare is so great at telling stories, and they make such lovable characters, and it's like even the characters that I'm not supposed to like, I like because they are well-written characters. And that's not something a lot of game developers can do. Plus, BioWare is very aware of the fact that they have a large female fan base. I don't find a lot of sexism in their games. I've actually seen guys get mad because they don't cater to what boys want all the time. Like Cassandra in Dragon Age Inquisition, a lot of people complain that she's not pretty enough for them. But, I mean, I'd let her beat my ass any day. She's a babe. So I really appreciate that about BioWare. Same with Bethesda. It's just, Bethesda's not as good at roping me into the story as BioWare is. Although they have a lot more, I think, role-playing aspects to them. Like, there's so much you can do in Fallout, it's ridiculous. But I don't love the characters as much as I do in BioWare games. Next question. Who's your favorite hero from a video game? Commander Shepard, specifically female Commander Shepard, because no offense, but her voice acting is way better. But, I don't care which way you play Commander Shepard, if you're Paragon, Renegade, or Paragade. She's badass no matter what, and she saves the entire galaxy. But we're not going to talk about some of those bullshit endings. Not going to talk about them. But definitely, Commander Shepard is my favorite hero. She's fantastic, and she's goofy, and she punches people. What more could you want? Who is your favorite villain? This is a hard question. I really like the Reapers in Mass Effect because it's like they don't feel like they're doing wrong. This is what they have to do. This is what they were created to do, and they're going to do it. They're going to destroy sentient life, wipe it clean, give us a new slate, because they foresee us fighting with synthetics. Like, they're just doing their job, essentially. I like and I don't like the Elusive Man, because the Elusive Man thinks he's doing what's best for humanity. He thinks he's doing good, in a sense, when really he's just an asshole. That's all there is to it. But I like villains that think they're being the way they are for the greater good of somebody or something, and not just being selfish, or not just being evil for the sake of being evil. Next question. Who is your most hated character of any game? I don't think I have a most hated character. I really dislike Anders in Dragon Age 2, but he's a well-written character, so I don't hate him at the same time. Like, I don't like what they have him do, but I like him as a character. I understand why he does what he does. I'm not a big fan of Loghain in Dragon Age 1, but again, he's a well-written character. I understand why he does what he does, so I can't even say I hate him. I kind of hate Liara's character development in the Mass Effect games. I really like that, you know, she was kind of sweet and naive to the ways of humans and stuff in the first one, but then in the second one, she's like, I don't want to say she's a bitch, but her character development, I don't like where they took it with her. I like her a little bit better in the third one, but not much. Other than that, I can't really think of a video game character that I hate, because as long as they're well written, then whatever. Next question. What gaming systems do you own? I own a Xbox 360 right now, a Alienware, so that'd be PC, and I have 2 Nintendo DS's, I have a PSP somewhere, but I don't have a charger for it, I think a Game Boy Color and a Game Boy Advance somewhere, but the only one I really play on right now is the PC. I have owned countless systems in the past, though. I had my PS1 and PS2, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64. I didn't have a GameCube, I never got one of those. And then boyfriend now has a PS4. And what was your first gaming system? My first one, it was either the Super Nintendo or the Sega Genesis, whichever one came out first. I'm not sure. I was very small when I got it, and we've just always had them, so couldn't really tell you which one was first, but it was one of those two. And the next question, what's your favorite gaming system and why? PC. I am part of the PC Master Race simply because we get mods, but that could be changing in the future, so that could even out the balance, I think. But really, the only reasons I would put PC above consoles is because I don't have to buy a new system every time they release a new generation. I can just update my graphics card, which is why I bought the Alienware amplifier, the graphics amplifier, so I can just pop a new graphics card in that whenever I need one. And like I said, because we get mods. But I have heard they're working to put those on consoles as well. So again, that levels out the playing field. Next question, if I can figure out how my phone works. Do you prefer to play guy characters or girl characters? I will play as a female character any chance I get, because I feel like a lot of developers don't realize how big the female gaming market is. Or if they do, they're just marketing like Cooking Mama and Candy Crush and stuff. But every once in a while I'll play as a male character. I think I had a male troll once in World of Warcraft. I didn't play on him too much. But I think all of my characters except one in Dragon Age Origins are female. The only male I based on Loki, and he's a mage. I have never played as Malehawk in Dragon Age 2, and so far in Dragon Age Inquisition I have played straight female characters, but I do want to roll a male Inquisitor so I can romance Dorian. And Mass Effect I always play as FemShep. Her voice acting is just better. It's just all there is to it. But every other game, if I have the option to play as a female, I do it. Do you follow walkthroughs or play on your own? Usually my first playthrough, I play through completely on my own, no walkthroughs at all, unless I really get stuck. Like, there was a couple games where I got stuck. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I did look up a walkthrough just to figure out how to get past that one area. Like, did I overlook something? Am I overthinking this? Just to be sure. With Ark Survival Evolved, I've looked up, not walkthroughs, but like little hints and tips here and there to get you started surviving on the island, and like what dinosaur eats what and stuff like that. And then every once in a while I'll watch a Let's Play video before I play the game just to see if I like it or not. Hey, sorry about that. My Nikon died because it is shit on battery life, and probably trying Canon next time I get a camera. But I was just finishing up the questions on do I do walkthroughs. Long story short, not usually on my first playthrough unless I really get stuck. So, that actually cut off, like, I had filmed a lot more, but then my Nikon died and erased half of it, so gonna have to go back a little bit. Let's see. Alright, question 17. Have you ever been to a gaming convention? I have not been to a gaming convention. Things have just never worked out financially, or, like, couldn't round up enough people who wanted to go at the time, or, like, something always happened. But I'm in a lot more stable financial situation at the moment, so I'm hoping to change that, and I'm hoping that I do get to go to conventions in the future. Hopefully next year would be nice. We'll see, though. We'll see. Next question. What game are you most excited to come out in the future? Fallout 4 is coming out in a few days, and I'm super pumped about that. I have it pre-ordered, got the Pip-Boy edition and everything, so really, really excited for that. I'm also really excited for Mass Effect Andromeda, of course. That's supposed to come out next holiday season. I'm really hoping they give the option to play as different races in this next one, but we'll see. I wouldn't hate being stuck as a human, but I would really like to play as, like, a Turian or a Quarian or a Krogan even. That'd be really sweet. We'll see what they do with that, though. I know it's been requested a lot. I'm also excited for Horizon Zero Dawn. I know that's coming out next year, and that is a PS4 exclusive. Female protagonist shoots bow and arrow at giant mecha machine things, takes place in the future. Gonna be pretty sweet. And I already know they're gonna make another Dragon Age game. They have to. And it looks like it's gonna be set into winter, and I'm really excited because that means they might bring back Fenris, and I missed him so much because I didn't bring him back in Inquisition. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. You guys better bring Fenris back, or I'm gonna cry a little bit. What's your best memory of a video game? My best memory of a video game is when me and Christian first met in World of Warcraft. We were doing a dungeon together, and I don't remember which dungeon it was. He could probably tell you, but there was an elevator in the dungeon, and he would raise the elevator, and then he would lower it so the healer would fall off and die. And he did this over and over and over again and kept killing our healer, and everybody else thought it was hilarious. Like, normally you'd get kicked for that kind of thing, but it was really funny. So we've been playing World of Warcraft together ever since, and it is one of my fondest memories of the game. And another funny memory that I love is when my ex and I played Portal 2 and I killed him a bunch of times on purpose in the game. It was good times. I don't think he enjoyed it as much as I did. What's your worst memory of a video game? Probably every time Skyrim broke. That's pretty saddening. I broke Skyrim a lot, went through a bunch of copies. I don't really have any bad memories of video games. I tend to repress bad memories, which is probably not a good thing. So, yeah. I don't think I have any bad memories with video games. They've always been an escape for me. Which video game character do you see yourself as? Or, if you had to be represented by a video game character, who would it be? I really feel like Tally is a fairly... maybe like Tally and Kasumi if they were fused into one. Because I'm kind of gossipy like Kasumi, but I feel like I'm pretty smart like Tally. That or like if Fenris and Meryl in Dragon Age 2 had a love child. Because I'm somewhat grumpy, but I'm also somewhat ditzy like Meryl, Fenris and Meryl, and maybe Leliana from Dragon Age, possibly? I don't know. See, this is a question I would have to ask other people, like, what character do I remind you of? But, yeah. So that was it for the video game tag. I will leave the questions in the description, and thank you for watching. If you would like me to elaborate more on any points or anything I said, or if you have any more questions for me, please feel free to shoot them at me. Don't actually shoot me, please. Again, happy N7 Day. I hope you're all having a really rad time of it, where your N7 gear represent. Still thinking of more videos I could do, so if you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comment or shoot me a message on Facebook or Tumblr. And yeah, I'll see you next time.